What's up, YouTube? It is Philosophical Friday, and today we're here with James, and we're going to be talking about why do people choose the hard path. And when I say this, I'm not talking about okay, let's say you're a drunk driver and you keep on becoming a drunk driver, you never decide to change, and you keep on doing the same thing, and you destroy your life because you chose a hard path. I'm talking about choosing to work out every day when you don't have to, or if you're already married, or choosing to get more wealth when you already have enough money for yourself, or choosing to challenge yourself to go to the next level. One of my favorite quotes by Dr. Les Brown, and it's become one of my life principles, is if you choose to do what is hard, your life will be easy. And if you choose to do what is easy, your life is going to be hard. Now, in the earlier episode on my channel, we showed that James was climbing a mountain, and it kind of like split in two different directions. And he asked me, which path are we going to go? And I told him, I said, well, path A is going to be a lot harder, but path B is going to be easier. We're going to get the same results. He chose the harder path. And I just want to, let you share, James, on why you chose that, why you decided to do that, and then how you felt once you reached the top.
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be here, bro.
Welcome.
So that was a fun day, climbing the mountain. I've never done that before. And I think to answer that question, I would start with the second part of the question, which is how did you feel? How did I feel at the top, right? Like it was a pretty cool experience, and I was very inspired, right? I was excited. I had this sense of accomplishment. Like I did something that, I wasn't sure how well I'd be able to do. I'm 45. I'm on a fitness journey. I'm trying to challenge myself, to be as fit as I was when I was 25, 20 years ago. And so that's when I was 25, it was easy to do because I was young and youthful, and your body reacts differently. To get the same results, it just takes a lot more. But I feel a lot better afterwards, right? Like I think there's just this, man, I guess it kind of gets to like a question about what's life about in the first place, right? Like, I think for me, you want to feel, at least I want to feel a sense of accomplishment, that I'm getting better, that I'm being a better me, right? That tomorrow I'm a better person than I was yesterday. And, this constant trying to be better. And I think if you don't challenge yourself, how would you ever feel like that? Like, I don't know what the point of life would be if I never had those feelings and that sense of accomplishment that I'm doing some things. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
No, it does. What would you say to people that maybe is watching this, and maybe someone that has an easy path, and has a 9-to-5 job, and really doesn't want to change, or doesn't have any desire? Do you think that's necessarily bad or evil, or do you think that's something to where it's a good thing for them?
yeah, I think. So I think about life. I think I think about life in different paths, right? So there's a spiritual path. There's kind of a financial path. There's a physical path, an intellectual path, and you just got to find a comfort zone for yourself within those paths, right? For me, spiritually and mentally and physically, I need challenge. I think for me to have a sense of happiness and accomplishment and content in my life, I need to challenge. I need to feel like I'm getting better. I don't know how you ever feel like you would be getting better if you don't challenge yourself, right? But maybe not everybody wants to feel like they're getting better. Maybe some people are totally fine being who they are, where they are for the rest of their life. That's fine for them. I'm not, I'm certainly not telling people they should be like me. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. I'm not a person to emulate necessarily. I just know that for me, I want to be better than I was yesterday. And maybe every day I'm not going to accomplish that. But on the whole, I want to feel like I'm going in that direction. I want to feel like I'm trying to be a better James.
Well, I think about the analogy. Thanks for answering that question. I think about the analogy above a tree, right? If you're a tree, there was an analogy that a wise man once talked about. It says, if you're a tree, you got to bear fruit, right? And temperaments, patience, fortitude, consistency, self-discipline. These are all fruits that are forged through the mind. And the interesting thing is when you go and you pick fruit from a tree, the tree never eats it. It's always for somebody else. So based on that paradigm, that as you work on yourself, you're not affecting your life. You're affecting the lives of others. Now, I know your job is you're a coach and you're helping lives with that. How does that differ from my question is two parts. Number one, how does that differ from the workforce where you're working in the corporate world? And do you miss having a 9-to-5 job and having that security?
It's a really good question. So it differs because I'm in more. So the actual work that I do, it doesn't differ that much, right? What I'm doing and what I'm saying when I'm in the act of working, it's the same stuff. I think where it really differs is obviously I'm in more control of my time, right? So I have a better ability to. I'm more free. I'm free to do what I want with my days and minutes and seconds.
How does that feel?
Liberating, right? I think it's very liberating. I think I don't miss the shackles of a 9-to-5. Absolutely not. I wouldn't trade it for the security that you get from it. I don't miss it for a second. Like in fact, I don't know how much money you could pay me to get me to go back. I don't think I'd ever go back. I think one of the things I've learned is that you can do with less. I think, one of the things is, people get used to a standard of living and they get used to stuff. It's really easy to get comfortable, right? It kind of goes back to that challenge thing. It's easy to get comfortable. When you get comfortable, you accept a lot of crap, a lot of junk you accept in your life because you're comfortable. And if you can free yourself from the shackles of that comfort, you can liberate your life in a way that maybe you don't realize. But no, I wouldn't. I don't regret it. The actual work I do is not much different. What's different is that I enjoy my life because I'm in control of my seconds.
I think also there's a paradigm shift that happens once you become an entrepreneur and you decide that you're dependent on you're burning your bridge. You're burning the ship.
Yeah.
You remember that guy? I forgot who it was, but it's some guy in the 1800s. They said, "Listen, we're going to this country, and we are going to thrive in that environment." And they sailed. They took a big ship and they sailed across, I don't know, a couple months to get there. They said, "Look, we're not going back. And as a matter of fact, we're going to burn the ship." So they couldn't go back. They had to live or die. And I know that one of the things that had happened during the COVID-19 situation is I had a lot of stuff that was happening in my duplex, and it was extremely difficult mentally, emotionally challenging but I had made a decision in my mind that I was going to accomplish this goal and get this place rented out, or I was going to die trying. I literally had said I was going to die trying. And I think once I made that internal decision, my world changed. And I think also that as you choose to do hard things, your life becomes easier, because like, right, how many times in your business, and because of the fact you've chosen to do the self-discipline of working out, which increases endorphins, which gives you a natural high, have you have problems and issues in your work and in your work, in your situation where you're working now, where you've been able to overcome them because you've had that self-discipline? Because life, there's always going to be a problem, right? There's always going to be something new that's going to come up. So go ahead.
So check this out. So it's funny you say that, right? So I'll talk about a physical one, right? Because in our minds, we tell ourselves that, you know, when there's something physical, you can't do anything about it. It's physical, right? What are you gonna do? And here's what I mean by that. I have a torn labrum in my shoulder. It's actually in both shoulders, but it's worse in my right shoulder. And so inside your shoulder, there's like, you know, the little ball, and then around the little ball is like a little tendon, kind of keeps the structure of the shoulder together. Mine's torn. And I was told by a doctor when I was 30, so that was 15 years ago, that it was degenerative and that it would continue to get worse, and that if I didn't have surgery, it would just continue to get worse, right? And so I used to work out a lot. When I stopped working out when I was 36 because there was just too much pain in my shoulder. I just couldn't deal with it. Every time I tried to do anything, it felt like my shoulder was going to come apart. And so that was almost 10 years ago. And I didn't work out because of my shoulder. And I also have tendonitis in my arms. It was just too much pain. And then I just decided, screw the damn pain. like screw the pain. I'm tired of sitting here getting fat, right? And I'm gonna figure out how to get in shape. And so I started rehabbing my shoulder myself, you know, and doing a bunch of different exercises on it. I'm not gonna have surgery. I'm not doing that, right? Because the reality is, after I have surgery, I'm gonna be in pain for a year. It's not guaranteed to make it any better. What's the point, right? So I just started rehabbing my shoulder, started working out. When I first started, I couldn't do one pull-up because if I tried, I felt like my shoulder was just going to come out of its socket. And now I can do like 30 pull-ups, right? So what happened? Did my shoulder heal? No, it's still there. It's still there. It still hurts, right? But just my perception of it is different. My perspective on it is different. And you know, I don't know if that answers your question, but I just think your mind, man, it's incredible what the stories we tell ourselves in our mind, how they dictate and control our lives. So when I told myself in my head that I couldn't work out because my shoulder hurt too much and I was going to ruin it and I wasn't going to move it, then I couldn't work out. But when I told myself that, look, it doesn't matter. It's just pain. If you have surgery, you're going to be in pain. If you work out, you're going to be in pain. If you don't work out, you're going to be in pain because you're looking in the mirror, your fat self, and you don't like that. So whatever, just do what it takes. Do the hard thing that it takes, and then feel better about yourself.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, that's the point we were trying to make with this Philosophical Friday, is that life is going to be hard. You're going to have challenges, but you know, as you do those harder things, it changes your mindset. It changes the frequency on you're talking about your internal dialogue that you talk about with yourself. And women are very good. I will say this about women. I am not, I am a chauvinist, but I will say that women are very intuitive. They are very intuitive, and they will know if you have self-confidence within yourself, if you work out. Now how did that, when you push through that pain, that threshold, did a part of you think, damn, what, I didn't think I could get through it, and I got through it? How did your life change because of that? And did it change as far as your business goes? Did it help you make money, become a better person? Where was the financial aspect of it?
It's a good question. You know, I don't know. Here's what I would say. I would say that the way that I think about those things, and I think the way that I've seen it and the way I've done it myself is you kind of got to just do it in bite-sized chunks. Like, I didn't think about this big thing I was just trying to accomplish. I was just going to the gym today, right? And my arm hurt, and I was like, well, let me just get through this exercise right now that I'm doing. Okay. And then, okay, it hurts, but let me just get through another exercise today. Right. And then I went tomorrow. And then when tomorrow came, I did the same thing. And I think when you take that approach and you kind of stay disciplined on the things that you need to do, I think at first it starts with, so it starts with knowing what you need to do. So I know I need to just work out, right? And in order for me to work out, I know I got to rehab my shoulder, right? So, okay, so let's just start with rehabbing the shoulder. So I know I need to do that. So let's not think about the bigger picture. I just know I need to rehab my shoulder today. And then I do that. And then eventually my shoulder was good enough that I could do other exercises. And so I was starting to do other exercises. And I was just doing that. And I think what happens is once you stay focused on those little things that you need to do that get you to your big goal, you just kind of pull up and take a look around in your life, and all of a sudden your life's better, right? All of a sudden you've accomplished a bunch of things, but it was because you took it down to bite-sized goals and you stayed super focused on those little bitty goals every day.
Did you write it down, or you just did it in your head? You just had a commitment to do it for yourself.
I didn't write this particular. I didn't write it down now, but there's other examples where I do write them down. When it comes to business stuff, I do write it down.
Awesome. And also, I think too, I mean, if you're talking to someone, to hold them accountable to do something for self-discipline, and yet, you don't have discipline with yourself. I mean, how are you able to, hold others accountable, if you don't hold yourself accountable too? So that's a really good thing. So with that being said, it was great conversation. I appreciate you sharing your time. Any other final thoughts you'd like to share?
No, I like the topic, man. Why do people do hard things? I think what I would share is this. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, right? Because a lot of people have dreams and they don't think about them like goals, and they don't even realize they can turn their dreams into goals. So if you have a dream, start with what you just said, right? Write it down and then work backwards. So say, okay, for me to accomplish that, what would I have, put a time limit on it? If I could accomplish that in 3 years, what would I need to do in 12 months that helps me get there? And then write that down. And then walk it back more and then say, okay, if I wanted to do those things in 12 months, what would I need to do in the next 90 days? And then write that down. And then walk it back even further and say, okay, for me to accomplish that 90-day stuff that I wrote down, what would I need to do in the next 30 days? And then write that down. And then walk it back even further. And say, all right, I have some stuff I want to get done this month. What do I need to get done this week? And then write that down. Then, as you start your week, you look at what you wrote down for the week that you wanted to get done, and then write down every morning, what do I need to get done today to get my weekly goal done? And if you do that, you have no choice but to accomplish all of your dreams.
Great stuff. Awesome. And I also want to add that when you choose the harder path and you make yourself a better person, you're not doing it just for yourself. You're doing it for the other people that you're going to touch, those lives that you're going to touch and affect other people. So great stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. I'm going to go ahead and end it.